Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, B.S.V.N. just filed an 8K with their second quarter results, and I am seeing a mixed bag of news here. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. While they've announced earnings, there is one specific detail in their update that could tell us more about future growth. Alright, so what we have here is an 8K filing from Bank7 Corp, which is essentially a report for significant events that happen at a company. This particular one is all about their financial results for the quarter ending on the 30th of June 2026. They've released a press release and investor presentation, which are both included with this filing. The main takeaway from this filing is that Bank7 Corp announced their financial and operational results for the second quarter of 2026. They've also scheduled a conference call for the 16th of July 2026 to go over these results in more detail. This is pretty standard stuff for publicly traded companies. They regularly update investors on how they're performing financially. Now, the press release and the investor presentation are the real meat of this filing, even though we're not seeing the full details directly in the 8K itself. Think of the 8K as the official notification that these documents are available. We're given Exhibit 99.1, which is the press release, and Exhibit 99.2, which is the investor presentation. These are where the numbers and the story behind them are usually found. For example, looking at some recent news, Bank7 Corp appears to have missed its second quarter estimates due to a one-time charge, and their net income for the quarter was reported as $8.3 million with high capital ratios. The investor presentation is key here. It is where Bank7 Corp would typically break down their financial performance, highlight key metrics, and discuss their strategy moving forward. We'd be looking for things like revenue growth, profit margins, loan growth, deposit trends, and their capital adequacy. Given that they're a regional bank, their loan portfolio and interest income will be critical indicators of their health. We'd also want to see how they're managing expenses and what their outlook is for the rest of the year. The fact that they're holding a conference call suggests they have things they want to discuss, and often that includes more color on anyone. Time charges that might have impacted their earnings. Looking at the company's registration information, we see that their common stock with a par value of $0.01 trades under the symbol B.S.V.N. on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. This tells us they are a listed company and subject to Nasdaq's rules, which generally include certain financial health and corporate governance standards. Looking at the broader context, Bank7 Corp has a market cap of around $485 million and a P/E ratio of about 11.6, which suggests investors are paying roughly 11.6 times their earnings for the stock. Their current stock price is around $50, trading within their 52-week range. They have a relatively small employee base of 125 people, which is typical for many regional banks. The institutional ownership shows significant stakes held by BlackRock Inc. and Mink Brook Asset Management LLC holding over 5% each. This indicates that larger financial institutions are invested in the company, which can sometimes provide a degree of stability. When we analyze a report like this, we're always trying to connect the dots between the numbers and the company's story. For Bank7 Corp, the mention of a one-time charge impacting their earnings is something we'd want to understand thoroughly. Was it a regulatory fine, a restructuring cost, or something else? Was it truly a one-off event, or does it hint at underlying issues? The strong capital ratios mentioned in the news are positive, suggesting the bank is well capitalized to weather potential economic storms. However, the missed estimates, especially if linked to operational efficiency or revenue generation, are a concern that needs further investigation in their investor presentation materials. We also look at the broader market and the banking sector. Regional banks in particular have faced scrutiny regarding interest rate sensitivity and potential impacts from economic slowdowns. So understanding Bank7's specific market position and strategy is crucial. A key area to watch in the investor presentation would be the details surrounding that one-time charge. If it is a significant number, understanding its nature is paramount. Otherwise, the focus would shift to core profitability metrics. Are loans growing? Are deposits stable? And is the net interest margin healthy? The fact that they have a P/E ratio of around 11.6 and a market cap of $485 million places them in the small to mid-cap range for banks, meaning their performance can be sensitive to both macroeconomic factors and specific banking industry trends. My biggest concern would be the impact of that one. Time charge on future earnings and whether it signals a deterioration in the operating environment for Bank7 or a one-off event. What I am actually looking for is a clear breakdown from the company that shows how they plan to overcome these headwinds, if any, and return to consistent earnings growth. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this analysis helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more. You can also join our Discord community linked in the description below.